Mining is currently the second best and most stable money making method in Hypixel Skyblock, only getting beat by Kudra. In today's video, I'll be going over a full path you want to take if you want to get into mining but you don't know where to start. The reason I decided to make this guide is because I've been getting a lot of questions on topics like how much powder should I have and how should I mine gemstones. Don't worry, I'll be answering all of your questions in this video. My name is Nikabe, let's go. Very cool. Now there are some prerequisites to this video. You're gonna have to have unlocked the crystal hollows. If you're in the dwarven mines, that's still fine. Just do some commissions and get up to Heart of Mountain 3 or 4 and just unlock the crystal hollows. Second of all, you can't be dirt poor. I'm expecting you to have at least glaciite. So when mining, there's 3 steps to getting to the top. First is getting Heart of Mountain 7. Step 2 is getting the required powder, and step 3 is actually perfecting your mining method. We'll start by going over step 1, which is how to get Heart of the Mountain 7 the fastest. First of all, you can buy yourself a pass and then just visit Implodent. Implodent has a crystal nucleus portal on his island, so whenever you join a crystal halls lobby, you can just go to his island and go through the portal. That'll take you directly to the crystal nucleus and you won't have to navigate it at all. Now, there's no best way to grind Heart of the Mountain 7, but I can give you a few tips for some of the commissions. First of all, if you get a topaz miner commission and you cannot mine topaz, I would recommend you just kill yogs. And the best structure for yogs is the ballerina. Now, you might be wondering, ballerina is kind of hard to find unless you have chat coordinates. Well, I'll show you an easy way now. First of all, you're going to have the NEU mod installed and have the wishing compass solver on. All you got to do now is go down here to the magma fields, right click with the wishing compass, move around a bit, right click again, and wishing compass is pointing to Bell, and it will give you the exact coordinates. A lot of people don't notice and still start begging in chat, which is extremely annoying. The second thing you can do if you're able to mine topaz is follow the route I'm taking. I'm taking the route under the mithril deposits. Just follow where I'm running right now. There's a massive topaz crystal right here. If you encrypt an armadillo and mine it, you can mine this entire thing and it will give you plenty for the commission. See, topaz gemstone collector, I already got the commission. How much did I mine? Well, to be fair, I have like 1.8k mining fortune. Anyway, that's just an extremely good spot to mine topaz in. Some other nice crystals are sapphire. If you follow the path I'm taking right now, you can find another easy sapphire vein. This one right here, although it doesn't look too big, it's actually really huge on the bottom as well. Just hop on an armadillo and mine it. It's extremely easy. It goes down really deep. The thing is more than enough to get you a full commission. So you can either do your dailies up to you get to Heart of the Mountain 7, or you can do it just all at once like I did. It took me 12 hours to get from Heart of the Mountain 5 to Heart of the Mountain 7, but yeah, I guess it was worth it. Anyway, on to step 2, which is powder mining. Now, I used to be a big fan of mining in the precursor remnants, but that has recently fallen off due to a few things. First of all, robot parts are now extremely cheap because of the bazaar here, and oil barrels and a bunch of other stuff has actually gone up in price due to them being added to bazaar and like stuff like the garden update. So you make way more money in the jungle now, and I see no reason to mine in the precursor remnants anymore. So for powder mining, you're going to have to be at least Heart of the Mountain 6. Don't even bother at Heart of the Mountain 5. It's absolutely pointless, but I would recommend powder mining at Heart of the Mountain 7. You can either use a mining item like a gemstone gauntlet, or you can use a jungle pickaxe if you can still get enough speed with that. When I was powder mining, I wasn't able to get enough speed with a jungle pickaxe, so I just used my normal gemstone gauntlet. The route I take goes as follows. I come up here, teleport up this thing, sort of like mine into this wall, and go to the very top. If you go to the very top of the jungle, less structures will be blocking you, and from there you can just powder mine extremely easily. Also, the perks you should be upgrading: Grid Explorer, Mole, and Powder Buff. Now, I would recommend powder mining up to between 1.5 and 2 million mithril powder, and the reason I don't say mithril and gemstone powder is because you'll be getting a lot of gemstone powder from armadillo mining. As you can see, I'm almost at 5 million gemstone powder, but I only have 1.5 mil mithril. That's because I only mined up to like 1.5 mil mithril, and I've gotten a ton from just gemstone mining. So it's really just the mithril powder that counts. If you have 0 gemstone powder and like 2 mil mithril, then you should be completely fine to starting. Now I'll move on to the longest part of this guide, which is gemstone mining. The method I will be teaching you is called Armadillo mining, and it is currently the best way to make money while mining. You can make over 100 million coins an hour using this method, but realistically, with a setup like mine, like a 655 and semi-max Divan, you'll be making around 50 million. Newer players will be making around 20. This was one of the other questions I got. How should I mine? What mods should I have? Am I mining wrong? Was pristine proc? I'll be answering all of that, don't worry. First of all, there's one really handy mod that you're going to need, and it's called coal weight. If you already have chat triggers, you can just do /CT import coal weight. And once you have coal weight installed, you can type /CW and this menu should come up. Basically, you can configure this a bit if you want. It doesn't need too much configuring. If you weren't going to configure anything, you should configure this waypoint section, like the line thickness, next waypoint distance. Now for the route, there are a lot of good routes out there, but the one I use is the public X6 Sapphire route. Public meaning that's a public route. It's accessible to everybody. There are also private routes, but those are kind of hard to get your hands on because, well, they're private. I will be leaving the route link in the description. Now, if you don't know what Armadillo is, routes. It's basically you mine out a bunch of stuff. You have one vein here, and what you'll do, you'll take out your Armadillo, you'll then mine that vein, you'll go off the Armadillo, teleport to the next vein, bring out your Armadillo, and then mine that, and then teleport to the next vein, bring your Armadillo, mine that. It's pretty simple, and you'll do that for about 140 or so veins before you come back to the start. The routes can take about an hour to an hour and a half to set up. Now the way you're going to set up the route is you're going to have first the route pasted to your clipboard. The way you can check that is if you type Control V, the route will come up in chat. That's perfect. Mine is there, so I don't have to do anything more. Now what I'm going to do is type /CW ordered load, and when I hit enter, it will show up 3 waypoints. Well, yours might show up the entire thing, but mine will only show up 3 waypoints because that's how I configured it in the cool wait mod. Let me go head over to those waypoints real quick. I've arrived at the area where the waypoints are, and it looks like somebody's already been here. As you can see, the crystals are still here and the route is working and stuff, but always, if you see the crystals and the route set up, please ask in chat. It's the most annoying thing ever when somebody just randomly starts mining your pre-set up route. You would ask, like, is anyone using Sapphire X6? If somebody says yes, you just leave and find another lobby. If somebody says no, well, then you can use the route for yourself. That's technically the good and bad thing of having a public route. Sometimes the route was already set up for you, but other times these random people can come in and grief you. So yeah, there are pros and cons of having a public route. Now onto how to actually mine them. When setting up the route, you're going to want to have some cobblestone. Just break the block and replace it with cobblestone. The reason we use cobblestone is because armadillos can break hardstone, as you can see, even facing downwards, but they cannot break cobblestone at all. Cobblestone is immune to armadillos. So what you'll do, you'll teleport onto the block, preferably using ether warp. That's pretty much a must for this method. You are going to have ether warp and an auto pet rule for this to work. So you're going to teleport onto the block, cast your fishing rod. Speaking of auto pet rules, this is how the auto pet rule should look. Feel free to copy my configuration right here. Also, I would recommend using an endermite for the first pet because the endermite has an ability of taking less mana when you teleport, which is extremely nice for armadillo mining. So yeah, what you're going to do, you're going to teleport onto the block, cast your fishing rod, the armadillo will spawn. You're just going to jump onto it. You're going to jump and spin around once like that. To get off the armadillo, you're not going to sneak. You're going to take your fishing rod, you're going to cast it again, and you're going to teleport to the next block. I have not configured this next block yet, so I'll do that real quick. So here's how it's going to look a bit faster. Also, something you might not have noticed there, I look quickly to the left and then to the right. The reason I do that is because of pristine proc. Basically, there's a small time right before you mount your armadillo where your drill stats will not be added to your mining stats. Basically, that means if you jump on your armadillo immediately after casting your rod, you will lose a lot of money since you won't be able to mine the same amount of gemstones. So that's why I look a bit to the left before jumping on, just giving me that a bit extra time. If you live in America or close to America, you shouldn't have a problem with that. The time you need to wait is based on your ping. So I have relatively low ping since I live in Europe. But if you live in Australia, say, you might have to wait a bit longer. Still not as long, just maybe like 0.3 seconds. I hope that explains armadillo mining well enough. Also, feel free to ask me in the comments if you have any more questions about how to actually mine. Now we move on to the final part, which is gear. When Sapphire Armadillo mining, I'll go over the bare minimum setup. The bare minimum is Sorrow Armor, a Gemstone Gauntlet, an Aspect of the Void with Ether Transmission, and of course an Armadillo. By the way, the Armadillo rarity and level does not matter. You can have a level 1 common Armadillo. It still works the exact same. Also, another thing I forgot to mention while doing the mining segment is that I've gotten a question on why does my Armadillo run out of energy? Well, when looking directly down or directly up, it will run out of energy. But as long as you look straight like this, it will not run out of energy. Also, when mounting the Armadillo, you do not want to look down and mount it. It won't on my private island, but in the Crystal Hollows, it will spawn at your head level. So you want to mount it while it's at your head level. I personally started mining with Devon Armor. This is the queen set of Devon Armor, and I was able to make about 20 mil an hour. Free tip to save some money is that you do not need amber gemstones at all. You do not need it on your drill. You do not need it on your armor. The reason is because mining speed does not work at all because you're using an Armadillo, which technically has infinite mining speed. You are going to need jades though. Jade is really important. So you want to focus on your mining portion, but not at all on your mining speed. And of course, focus on your pristine. Pristine is also important. After Sword Armor, I would recommend upgrading the Devon, but still keeping your Gemstone Gauntlet. And then eventually you'll upgrade it to a Titanium Drill. Quick tip for equipment is that you can use your Rift Necklace as long as you reforge it to Glistening. It gives free mining fortune. You can also use whatever belt you have. I have a brown belt, so I just put that to Glistening. I think that's all I have for this video. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to join my Discord and ask me. I will respond to any questions you ask. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.